Welcome, everyone, to this latest edition of 5RoundMMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside my co-host, Albert Cita. Got a lot to talk about this week in the world of mixed martial arts and professional wrestling. But before we get started with that, sorry about that. How's it going, Albert?
It's
sweet transit. You love that transition, right? Just a natural conversation flow, right?
I'm actually doing super good. I don't know if you follow the NBA that closely these days, Alex, but the Pelicans, led by Lonzo Ball, they killed the Clippers, bro.
Did they?
Killed the Clippers.
I missed it.
Yeah, it was. I was shocked how good the Pelicans play, and they just blew out the Clippers. And I like to bring that up because our executive producer, Guillermo Cita, who is a huge Clipper fan, I know he's feeling very salty when he's going to watch this.
I still question, is Guillermo more of a Clipper fan or a Laker hater? He's a Clipper fan, right?
I think most people in LA that don't like the Lakers are just Laker haters.
They just want to.
Yeah, they just hate on the Lakers.
Such a shame. 17 world titles, and you have still people hating on the Lakers. I'll never understand it. It's like, I don't like the Yankees, but why are you a Mets fan in New York, right?
Exactly.
You have this dynasty there, this greatness, this cathedral of Yankee Stadium. Nah, I'm gonna watch the Mets play.
And then on top of that, who likes neon orange?
Not me,
bro. I can never get past their neon orange jerseys. How ugly those jerseys are.
Right. I know. And then they switched it a little bit in the black with the black ones, and then it's just too many. Aren't you lucky to be a Dodger fan? Just traditional blue from like
blue and white,
almost 100 years now.
And gold.
So this week's show, man, we got a lot to talk about. But before we talk about AEW Revolution, we'll have our recap on that. We're going to talk about the big signing that the AEW had, the Hall of Fame worthy signing that they brought on board. We're going to talk some MMA, a big announcement. Dana White's proclaiming that crowds will be in attendance for the next major UFC pay-per-view. And we're going to look at WWE Fastlane as well. But Albert, last week, I'm getting my days mixed up here, but we had the AEW Revolution watch party on Twitch.
Thanks to everyone who watched that. Even if you didn't watch it live, but then you rewatched it, thanks a lot.
Super great time, I think. Albert, how'd you feel about the Twitch watch party?
Other than the technical difficulties, I think it was really fun. I think we had good interaction with the people that were there on their live. I think people got a treat out of me opening up my Chris Jericho. I don't know if he's in frame, but he's up there now.
He's right there.
Of course, when I open all of them up, I'm gonna have a awesome pose for Chris Jericho. So I thought it went really well. I liked it. I had fun.
Yeah, definitely. Hope it's to be the first of many here. So get everybody who went to our Twitch, thank you. Appreciate taking the time to hang out with us for that about 3.5, 4 hour long pay-per-view.
And then for all you fig heads out there, we're going to have another little fig opening, and we are going to have like a little contest.
The power of the people in the hands of the people.
Yeah, so we'll probably, Alex will probably post that up pretty soon. But you get to pick what I get open. But you only get 2 choices though. Calm down.
Two.
We don't got that type of budget yet.
Yeah.
We only got 2 figures we can choose.
This time it's going to be MMA related for all you MMA fans here. So our next watch party will be for a UFC event. So be sure to keep an announcement on that. And, of course, we'll do a post for the figure announcement. But, yeah, again, thank you. Again, if you don't have a Twitch account, you can always just hang out and watch us via Twitch. But if you want to kind of comment in the chat group, in the group chat, then you have to have a Twitch account. But no Twitch account necessary. Just to click the link and watch us talk about whatever we're talking about for those. But, again, greatly appreciate you guys doing it.
But we do like the interaction.
We do like the interaction as well, good or bad.
Don't like what we're saying? Tell me.
Yeah, exactly. But we did post Albert's figure opening on our Instagram, and boy, that got some pretty good traction on social media. A lot of figureheads out there.
Shout out to Ringside Collectibles for liking the post.
Yeah, it's all about those hashtags, man. A lot of figureheads out there.
And if you don't know who Ringside Collectibles are, go look them up. They're a big deal.
So I guess this is a good transition here, better transition than my opening one for the show here. Let's start with round number 1, AEW Revolution. Albert, were promised an exploding barbed wire death match at the end. Didn't get it. We had the Casino Battle Royale tag team, right? We had the climb to destiny of the ladder match.
Grab the brass ring.
We had a street fight between Darby Allin and Team Taz. Sting and Darby Allin, Team Taz here.
Cinematic match.
Cinematic match and some other matches sprinkled in there too. Overall, give me your Dave Meltzer 5-star rating out of 5 stars. The event as a whole, what would you give AEW Revolution?
I would have to say a 3.5. Originally, I had maybe like a 3 in my head, But then the more I thought about it was I can't let that bad taste in my mouth of the explosions being a dud. But at the same time, they had good matches. So it was like a 3.5 to me.
Yeah,
it was nowhere near a home run.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4 on this one. Matches were solid. It wasn't a 5-star pay-per-view for me. It was a little long. I don't know what happened to the days of a 3-hour pay-per-view.
It's because everyone got to put in their.
I get it, but like, did you even notice our group chat was super strong in the beginning of the watch party, right?
And then towards the end, you could tell they kind of deflated.
People were just like tired. Does every match need to be 15 minutes? Does every match need to be on there? Honestly, we probably could have done without the Miro match. That probably wasn't pay-per-view worthy. I know they want to get that here, but I mean, was that really, really necessary to be on pay-per-view? Did it make the pay-per-view better?
If anything, that was a main event at Dynamite.
I like it. Yeah. So timing-wise, pacing-wise, a little long here. I think even the women's match was a little long, I thought.
Yeah. I think see, the problem is, this is why the structure they had for that tournament and who won it was an issue on itself, because I get it. They're trying to highlight these two overseas talent that many people don't know. And so they got to really show why they're put in this position. And you just put yourself in a corner, because then like it drags on too long. People aren't invested in these wrestlers because we don't know what the regular fan that's tuning in does not know who these women wrestlers are.
Yeah, and they tried doing some video packages beforehand, but
it just
it's a longer issue to talk about for sure. What about even with the Hangman Page versus Matt Hardy? That one left me a little wanting more, I think. But hey, Hangman Page has to be featured. Is this Matt Hardy feud the best feud for him? I don't think so. But Hangman Page has to be in something. Let's focus on the main event itself, because that's what everyone's talking about. Barbed wire death match. In terms of death matches,
the dud that was heard around the world. In
terms of death matches, it was pretty tame, but really entertaining. I think Omega and Moxley, to his credit, I'm not a Moxley fan. I'm the first one to knock him every time I can, because I just don't like the guy's character. But this is a good match. A really good match.
No, yeah. The match itself was super entertaining. I think they did all the spots that was enough to make, remind you it's a death match. They did the whole death match spots where like they're trying to avoid touching the barbed wire, and then when they finally do, it's a big build up when they touch the barbed wire. So it had all the good elements, I think, that you were what you expect in a barbed wire match. But yeah, of course they're not gonna go too extreme. I mean, I think that would be ridiculous. But I thought it was a solid match, and in my eyes, it was leading up to a 5-star match until we got to the end.
What the end was, after 25, 30 minutes,
and I mean, the commentary was milking it.
Yeah.
Before the video package, before we saw it, was milking it. Everything led up to this final moment.
Yeah. So basically, it was promised that after 25 or 30 minutes, the ring is going to explode no matter what. And obviously not going to really explode the ring, but when it came to the countdown, they sold it. Moxie's still in the ring. It's a countdown. Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, they book it.
Eddie Kingston comes in, and he's supposed to take one for his brother. Shield his brother.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, instead of exploding ring, we got a couple sparklers and a few smoke like puffs, right?
That didn't even cover the ring.
It was just like...
I think even if the smoke would have covered the ring, would have been enough for people to kind of not been so harsh as they were. But because the smoke didn't even cover the ring. Yeah. It literally like maybe just the corners.
Like for people, Kane's entrance had more pyro than this explosion. But also that they kept on the hard camera. The camera didn't move. Credit to WWE, they probably would have shake the camera and done a bunch of cuts to make it look like an explosion. But you had two guys laying.
They would have dropped the camera on the floor.
Exactly. But that's part of what you're trying to sell, right? Yeah. Even in a movie, you're gonna have the camera move, all that stuff like that. But then what you had Eddie Kingston lying on top of John Moxley to protect him from sparklers.
And then just to make it worse, Eddie Kingston being the professional he is in the business, you got to sell no matter what the situation is. You sell, right? Yeah. He sold the explosion, but it looked ridiculous because we saw sparklers. Yeah. And you saw smoke. Yeah, and you saw a guy
trying to sell that.
Yeah.
And what made it worse too was after cameras went off, to credit to Moxley's to his professionalism.
I mean, they used it, so
Moxley, yeah, they did post it. Moxley got up while Eddie Kingston was still being attended to by medical personnel. Moxie gets up and says, I guess Kenny Omega can't build an exploding ring for crap, right? Because this is supposed to be Kenny's match. Kenny did a design. He posted online. And Tony Khan defended that, or defended what lack of explosion. It was kind of saying, well, did fans really expect us to explode somebody? And technically Kenny Omega designed it and he used it in crayon. So
yeah, trying to make
they
it,
dropped that
yeah.
pretty quick, right? Because the Wednesday following Dynamite, they didn't really address it, right? Did
well,
they?
They did address it. They went with what Tony Khan said, where like, like he designed it, and that's why. And Eddie Kiss didn't even come out that said that he was just the reason he acted like that was more because of trauma, being in jail and stuff like that. So they did try to add it to the story, but at the same time, they kind of just wanted to address it and keep moving.
Yeah, I think it definitely gave fuel to the AEW haters out there saying, hey, look at this production value, stuff like that. So it was definitely a dud. And like somebody online was always quoting Vince, people always remember the finish, brother.
That's true.
They always remember the finish.
That's true.
So, again, wasn't a perfect pay-per-view, super enjoyable, kind of long, but and the pay-per-view and the ending was a big dud that left people without a bang for sure.
I would say this though, I didn't feel like I didn't get my money's worth.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I still got my money's worth. And I think that when it comes to like stuff like this, the worst feeling you can feel is wanting your money back.
Yeah.
Like we've seen not just wrestling pay-per-views, but MMA in general pay-per-views where afterwards you're like, dude, did I just pay for that? And it's upsetting. But I didn't get that feeling. And I'll tell you right now, UFC has the UFC I didn't see the Usman one because I am not going to pay you $70 for Usman. Mm-hmm. But at least for the other ones I paid for,
$259. Yeah.
It was worth it.
So this is we're gonna harp on the theme for AEW, which is people saying that they overpromise and underdeliver.
Uh-huh.
So this could go into our next round here, if them promising a Hall of Fame worthy talent. This is gonna be somebody who's gonna shake the foundation of professional wrestling. I could be over exaggerating what the Big Show or Paul White said, but it was a former talent who was gonna sign on, and he did debut in Revolution. So we'll talk about that coming up next in round number 2.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 2. Timer started here. So another big aspect of AEW Revolution was the free agent signing, the Hall of Fame worthy free agent that was going to join AEW. Had a lot of people speculating who was it going to be. Paul White, the former Big Show, said it was going to be somebody's make a big splash. I think he said, so I got hype people up. Number 1 is always going to be who? CM Punk, right?
Yeah,
that's going to be number 1.
It's funny how CM Punk has been attached to AEW since the conception, since you go all the way back to
All In.
Even go all the way back to All In. It's been he's been attached to AEW,
and he keeps saying straight up, no, it's not me, not me. Kurt Angle did a teaser video. RVD for some reason kept coming up.
I like that Kurt Angle played into it though.
I did too. And then Christian was always in there too, seemed the most logical choice, and it ends up being Christian Cage. Well, now in Christian Cage, formerly Christian in WWE. When this was announced, I think even in our group chat and the watch party, it was kind of flat.
I wouldn't say flat. It's just the expectations were so high.
Now, is that our fault or is that AEW's fault?
I want to say it's AEW's fault because, like, I get in, like, again, this is a tough one for me because I'm not trying to knock Christian Cage. I'm a huge Christian Cage fan. I love Christian. I prefer Christian Cage over Edge any day.
Ditto.
When TNA was in his height, I loved watching Christian on top with the belt. I felt like he finally deserved it. He was having amazing matches. So I'm not trying to knock Christian Cage. But you build up to like this. Like I said, like you needed to have someone like Brock at this point. If it wasn't Brock Lesnar,
yeah.
I think the fans would have been disappointed. And that's one though. Again, that's an issue when you build it up so much. I mean, it could have just been a regular signee, and I think people would have pop for it.
Yeah,
they didn't need to do what they did.
Yeah, it's almost you had a bigger pop for Ethan Page than you did Christian Cage that night.
Yeah,
because Ethan Page has a potential for a future where Christian Cage in his late 40s. What's he really gonna do in AEW? Now that maybe have one quick hot feud, and then that's it. Granted, for him, he probably got a really good payday. He's gonna be on top here for a little bit. People were kind of assuming what's he going to do in AEW, but we got the answer fairly quickly. And then the following Dynamite, he comes out and just kind of stares down Kenny Omega. Now, do you like that matchup with Kenny versus Christian?
I like any matchup with Kenny.
Okay.
It's
wrong question.
Yeah,
sorry.
You're asking the wrong guy because like all I think about is everyone Kenny hasn't faced. Okay. Like honestly,
is that what you think about before you go to sleep at
yeah,
night?
honestly,
you're like that.
Apollo Crews versus Kenny Omega is a fantasy match.
We have to make that meme of like that couple in bed, and it's that woman saying he's probably thinking of another woman, and then Albert's laying over. I wonder who Kenny's gonna wrestle next.
Dude, that's 100%, 100.
So I think it's gonna be. Obviously, they're gonna say, "Well, Kenny's gonna beat Christian's gonna come on, be used sporadically, not gonna be a full time guy because when he just got cleared to wrestle again, and in his late 40s, does he really spark inspiration? Do you want to see Christian versus Hangman Page? Do you want to see Christian versus member of SCU? Do you want to see Christian versus Kenny? Do you want to see Christian versus MJF? Are these like super duper exciting matchups to you? That what happened when maybe AJ Styles got signed by WWE. Do you remember how hyped everybody was? You got AJ versus Roman, AJ versus Cena, AJ versus Orton, all these great potential matchups. Because I don't think Christian, again, no offense to him, brings up these feelings of excitement and he's going to come, he's going to make so much, he's going to tick their ratings up a couple more decimal points in AEW's favor for the type of hype announcement that he got. I think you could have debuted him on a Dynamite and said, hey, we signed Christian Cage as All Elite, and you could have been fine with that. Did you need the Paul White, the former Big Show, to come and say, hey, we have a Hall of Fame worthy announcement, which he is Hall of Fame worthy, but do you need time on a pay-per-view to announce him? I don't think so. But again, maybe we're proved wrong, but I think it was just a wasted opportunity for AEW again. Again, it goes to the overpromise, underdeliver again. Because like I said, it wasn't a Brock Lesnar. It wasn't somebody who's hot right now. It wasn't like a Jay White or somebody from Japan.
And what really sucks is the only person that they hurt was Christian Cage. Because I feel like a guy like with his legacy, he didn't need the hype wasn't needed. You get me? Like that, it just feels bad because I feel like now Christian, maybe he likes it that now he has more to prove, but he does start off 2 steps back.
Yeah.
To me, he almost has to win the whole crowd over again because we got not that we got a letdown, but it wasn't what we expected.
Yeah, now it's people are calling it AEWCW TNA.
Oh man!
So or TNA AEWCW. That's like the new acronym for them now.
Wow.
But who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Christian, one of my favorites, but not super inspiring to sign up for AEW for me. That's it for round number 2. We're going to come back and talk about some mixed martial arts here. Talk about the future of the women's featherweight division in the UFC. It might be no more, Albert. We'll talk about that coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for now round number 3. We're going to talk about some mixed martial arts now. To a surprise to a lot of people, Megan Anderson, UFC women's featherweight contender, is no longer in the UFC. Her contract was her last fight against Amanda Nunes at UFC 259. And Dana White and the UFC said, thank you for all your hard work here, but we're not going to sign you again, so best of luck. Megan Anderson said that that's what it was. She's all, my contract ran out. Either they couldn't agree or they didn't try to agree or anything like that, and that is it. And Megan Anderson even said that might be it for the women's featherweight division, the 145-pound division, to which Dana White quickly responded, we're going to have a 145-pound division as long as Amanda Nunes wants to defend that title. Albert, give me the top 15 rankings on the UFC women's featherweight division right now.
So this is 100% official. This is on UFC.com. Here's the rankings. Amanda Nunes, champion. That's it.
So
that's it.
As long as Amanda Nunes wants to fight at 145, the UFC is going to have a division to have.
So what? So do they got to wait for some Invicta star to rise that's just tearing girls up, or some girl from Bellator starts tearing people up at 145 and then they make a division? Like, this is so, like, this, honestly, they put themselves in this situation. And it's funny, the flyweight division was going to be the same way. And you can't be like, oh, UFC kept that division alive. Oh, dude, UFC didn't keep no division alive. That flyweight division was going to be gone. If it wasn't for Triple C beating Mighty Mouse, was the savior. That was the savior of the flyweight division. And it just turned out in the women's, Meg Anderson couldn't be Triple C.
Yeah.
And save the division, because honestly that's what it was. If Mighty Mouse would have been Triple C, it would have been the same thing, and I wouldn't, Dana White probably was saying if Demetrius Johnson feels like he can defend it competitively, we'll find a match.
We'll keep finding random flyweights everywhere.
If not, then he's gonna have to move up to 135.
So basically, Amanda Nunes beats everybody at 145, but recently on Ariel Helwani's MMA show, Juliana Pena came out and said she's tired of Amanda Nunes ducking everybody at 135.
Yeah.
She called out Amanda Nunes. She basically said, if you want to be fat and lazy at fight at 145, then vacate the 135 belt. UFC can't really do that because there is no 145 division for her anymore to take. It's basically who they created the 145 division specifically for Cyborg, right? And then they created this super fight to either get Cyborg out or to appease Cyborg to have her beat Nunes. Nunes knocks out Cyborg out of the UFC. Now there's no 145-pound division. Bellator does have a deeper roster at 145. Juliana Pena said everybody who fights at 145 is really a bantamweight. They're just too lazy to make weight.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen with I don't see it. They should just say, you know what, you're the 145-pound champion, and then we're going to retire the division. Now you just got to fight specifically at bantamweight, unless she has such good a relationship with Dana White. So, I only want to fight at 145. You better find somebody for me.
And honestly, I think they put themselves again in this position. I get that Cyborg was a big draw at the time, but I don't know if he just wanted to show his critics wrong by making the division and bringing Cyborg over and thinking maybe one of these girls are going to beat her. And ultimately, to tell the truth, I think they just wanted Cyborg versus Ronda Rousey, but then it didn't turn out that way. I honestly think that's what was if you were to put a game plan on the wall, it was Ronda Rousey destroys 135. We bring in Cyborg. She beats Cyborg. She's a double champ. She retires. Peace out. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Or at least we sign Cyborg. We trying to get Ronda Rousey back on track.
I honestly think that was the original idea, and it just backfired horribly.
Yeah, but again, Amanda Nunes came along, right?
Yeah, and you just see that they never had a game plan for this division. They never even tried. Because, look, okay, Cyborg gets beat by Amanda Nunes badly, right?
Yeah.
But you're dumb to not re-sign her because you still need a measuring stick to the 145. If Meg Anderson would have fought Cyborg before she fought Amanda, we would have saw really where Meg Anderson's at. Right? Same thing with all these other girls that you bring into 145. Cyborg didn't have to be one and done.
Yeah.
But
maybe she was too expensive. But
the point is, they never intended to have this division flourish. Let's keep it real.
It sucks too. Yeah. But if you're a fan of the women's 145 featherweight division, go to Bellator.
If anything, this Bellator's time to shine. They can literally outshine UFC right now by making that 145 division stack.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. We're going to take a small break, talk about more MMA here and the possibility of UFC holding events with people, real life people in attendance in the very near future. Don't go anywhere. That's coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Let's enter the championship rounds. We had a what's the word I want to put here? A day of a ton of news coming out here. Biggest one being UFC 261, which will take place in April. Hot off the presses here in Jacksonville, Florida, and per Dana White, will take place in front of a full capacity audience in April. That's like a month away in Florida.
Wow. Wow. Just first of all, from all the people that I talked to that live in Florida or been in Florida, they tell me like the pandemic didn't even happen over there. People were living their lives anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be a big change for the state itself that they're having this event. I think for the world, it's a huge thing. Now it's going to be indoor, right?
Yes.
it's like I can't even fathom in a major organization having full capacity and like this close, like
when like vaccination rates aren't even like 100% yet.
It's to me it's just mind blowing that when you told me the news. And I mean, I get that. I get Dana White, like he really is trying to push the envelope when it comes to this virus. He's trying to show like this is not going to slow down business, and he showed that with Fight Island and having it over there at the UPEC Center, the Apex Center. So I get that part. It just sucks that he's not being responsible. I think as far as really letting the dust settle. Trust me, I'm dying to see LAFC. Mm-hmm. Dying to see the Dodgers. I'm dying to see the Lakers. I'm dying to see anything.
Yeah.
Okay, I would see the most jabroni concert just to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I get it, but at the same time, it's not responsible. And I really wish he would have done what I think AEW's kind of started, which is make like a pod system where you get 5 tickets per group, and then you're distant from the next pod, and then just have pods scattered around. I mean, there's arenas that can like this pod system can really work.
Yeah. And
I don't know. I get it too, where people are like, well, it's gonna be the same thing, the pod system, not the pod system. Having 25 people, I get it. It just, I don't know. It just feels very irresponsible to do so close to everything just barely opening up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think too, even though if say you are in there and they are going to wear masks and promote social distancing,
doing an outdoor event.
True, but like when you have let's say this arena holds 20,000 people, you're going to have that many people congregate into one area. They're not going to put their face mask on until they get inside. So who knows what's going on in the parking lot? But we're not talking about that. I mean, whatever. Well, yeah. Somebody's going to be the first to do it, and Dana White and UFC want to be the first to have full capacity. So hopefully it works out. It would be a good way to be back to normal. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But the card itself is pretty stacked, bro. I mean, it's going to be Zhang versus Namajunas for the women's strawweight title. We got Shevchenko versus Andrade for the women's flyweight title, and then just announced Usman versus Masvidal 2 for the welterweight title. We all know how that's going to end here. You give Masvidal.
You saw the first match? That's exactly what's going to happen in the second match.
Exactly. So it's a pretty stacked card. Pandemic be damned. So
I don't even know if I want to support it, though, to tell you the truth. Not to get political.
Yeah.
But I don't want to support this irresponsible card.
And he's not talking about the full capacity. He's talking about giving Masvidal a title shot.
Yeah.
That's the irresponsible factor,
That's
right?
what I'm talking about.
But honestly, we talked about this before. I think both the women's matchups are deserving of the title contender. Is Masvidal really the number one contender? Probably not. I think Usman's trying to get a payday, rightfully so.
Here's my whole thing. When it's a media rematch, it better be a split decision. It better be a close match. It should a controversial finish, right? To me, those are the reasons why you get an immediate rematch.
Yeah.
If you lose, you gotta at least fight one more time and then get another title shot. It just I don't understand why when they do it and when they don't do it. It makes no sense, and it just like again. People were talking smack on the last Canelo fight because he fought some guy that he wasn't supposed to fight. Come on, let's keep it real.
What is this?
This is it.
It's a business.
Yeah, how are you supposed to justify you being legit and more legit than boxing when in reality you're doing the same thing? I mean, look, maybe Jorge Masvidal does deserve a rematch, but show it, right? What's wrong with him having a match before he has with Usman?
UFC is long. People, for some reason, have this like they earned almost like it's selective memory for the UFC. When they do stuff that boxing does, they tend to ignore it. But then when they do stuff like, oh, you see, it's the rightful number one contender because they have so many divisions where, Namajunas versus Zhang, that isn't like feeding the fish, to the hook. You know what I mean? But Masvidal versus Usman, is that really going to change anything? I think Usman's too much of a badass to even mess around with Masvidal. So,
and at the same time, I get that it kind of fell on the shoulders of Leon Edwards because of that bad finish just recently, with the eye poke. And I think Dana White even came out publicly and said if Leon Edwards wins, he's the next one up. So I think that I guess that's the enough justification to just skip everything else and give it to Masvidal. And I understand that part, but honestly, I would still give it to Leon Edwards. I still would have been like, look, Leon Edwards, you didn't win your match. It was a controversial thing, but hey, you didn't take any damage. You're fresh. I don't see us running back the match that that just finished, because who knows how long I can't think of his name. The eye poke is going to heal. Yeah. Leon Edwards looked fresh after he looked like he took a lap.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I would just get Leon Edwards anyways. I think I would get more respect for that, but whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
I get it. Business is business.
Business is business. We got one more round coming up next, then we're done with our business.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Fifth and final round. We're going to preview WWE Fastlane, which takes place this Sunday. I believe so, or next Sunday. I forgot. I don't know when. When's the date of it?
The exact date is March 21st, 2021.
Yep. So it is going to be this upcoming Sunday because when we're recording, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, who's on the card for officially announced? WWE Fastlane.
So officially announced is Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are going to put up their belts against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair.
Okay.
And then you got Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan again.
Okay.
But there's a little caveat. Edge or Jey Uso will be the special guest enforcer.
Okay.
And then you got Big E versus Apollo for the Intercontinental belt.
I just like that one.
And then you got Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus, straight up. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon, straight up. And Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton in an intergender match.
That's going to be probably some sort of cinematic thing, right? With Bray Wyatt and The Fiend coming in and out.
Yeah, you're going to see some devil-ish stuff going on
there. Some witchcraft and
witchcraft,
wizards and stuff like that. So we're about less than a month away from WrestleMania, I believe. But remember growing up how significant the Royal Rumble was and how it led to the road to WrestleMania? This is the second pay-per-view the WWE has had since the Royal Rumble and leading up to WrestleMania. Are these Fastlane and Elimination Chambers even warranted or needed in today's age? Like, why?
No.
Wouldn't you want to have Edge be the winner and declare himself right away, I'm going to face Roman Reigns, and then have that whole 2 months to build up a feud to really, sell this match? But now we don't know what's going to be like. What if Daniel Bryan wins? Now, what if, they sold this, and it took forever, and then all of a sudden, randomly Bobby Lashley wins the other title, and what's the plan?
And the more annoying part to me is when you hear wrestlers talk about their craft, what do they always say? It's about the story. It's about the story. If you talk to any fan, they'll tell you it's about the story. What I get hooked into, it's a story. And by doing these, not having a clear picture, it's hard to develop a really good story.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, the feud was a year long, leading all the way up to WrestleMania. Screw Royal Rumble. I'm talking about the whole year. You had some kind of story going on that's going to pay off at WrestleMania.
There's a climax.
Yeah. And now we're just getting these short little bursts, these last minute decisions, I don't know. You know what? I'd rather have everything be a spoiler, and you're not leaving room for the story. And now you got a mixed mosh of too much going on that there's no clear thing. Like it's funny. I want to buy into Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. I want to buy into that. I love that as a feud. I love that as a match, but it's hard to really buy into it when you know that Edge technically has
the Royal Rumble, right?
Royal Rumble win that's going to challenge technically Roman Reigns. It just feels weird that I don't know how you can make me believe that Roman Reigns is not going to go into WrestleMania with the belt and face Edge.
I would rather have all these dumb matches where is Roman going to win or not? Roman, Edge, book it for a whole 2 months. Build it up. There's so much you could do with that, but they want to try and swerve everybody, and these swerves aren't even swerves. It's like a hanging curveball, man. I'm just gonna hit it out of the ballpark. Nothing here is surprising to anybody.
Literally, the only thing that's being developed is Randy Orton.
Yeah,
that's the only thing being developed.
Yeah,
that's the only match that makes sense in this whole card with Alexa Bliss, because obviously, we still don't know what happened to the Fiend after he got burned alive. There's been a long playing out thing going on here. And the playoffs is going to be WrestleMania. We know that. But this is adding to it. But other than that, there's literally no game plan in here.
Almost the whole once a month pay-per-view business is almost dead now because, you know, I used to collect a lot of, before the network. I used to buy a lot of DVDs, and I remember when they released their WrestleMania anthology. Like, oh man, like it was like from like the first one to about 2000, maybe 10 or 12. Like the first like 22 WrestleManias. Oh, I had to have that. Then they did that for Survivor Series. Then they did that for the Rumble. Like, they're not going to create the greatest anthology of Fastlane pay-per-views. Nobody ever remembers the greatest No Way Out matches. It's always the greatest WrestleMania matches, the greatest Royal Rumble matches. Nobody cares about the Elimination Chamber anymore because you know why? Because it happens every year, and there's 3 chamber matches per card every year. It's no longer special anymore. So the stuff here, it's just like they're a waste, they're a throwaway. I want to see these feuds build out, like you said. And to me, this year's Royal Rumble seems so insignificant and so unworthy that I almost forgot like it happened. It was supposed to be Edge. Now all this stuff, it's just like I don't understand. Even Bianca Belair.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Not only that, let's just go to the minor belt, which is the IC belt. Remember, Big E had a big thing with Sami Zayn, and now we're switching to Apollo Crews, and now it looks like they're gonna go take that route all the way to WrestleMania. But
it's like 3 weeks build up.
Yeah, but Apollo Crews and Big E, it's hard. I mean, I get it, but how are you going to get invested in a couple of weeks when the running thing was with Sami Zayn, right? They might as well should give us a finish with Sami Zayn.
The finish could have been a WrestleMania.
Exactly, but whatever.
Whatever. It's just, you know what? But you know what's funny? Are we gonna watch it? Yes.
Oh no, I'm watching WrestleMania regardless.
Are we gonna watch Fastlane? Probably, yeah. Are we gonna talk about it next week? Probably, yeah.
They're just lucky that it's so cheap, bro.
You know what?
And I'm fine. You know what? I'm fine with having Peacock Premium.
Yeah.
I'm running out of shows to watch. WandaVision's done. I need something to watch. I'm perfectly fine channel surfing Peacock Network.
Yeah.
And guess what? I get the WWE Network too. You know what? Screw
it's the plight of for as much as we complain about it, I'm still gonna watch it. It's when they hook you in when you're little. That's how they do it. They hook you in when you're a kid. You can't.
And then it's just a beautiful price point.
Yeah.
I mean, $10 I get Peacock and I get WWE.
You get The Office and you get SmackDown.
Exactly, how am I supposed to fight? I can't complain.
You get every WrestleMania and you get every episode of The Office. So good on Peacock for absorbing the WWE network. That's it for this week's show. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you want to stay up to date with us, you can on social media. Mostly on IG and Twitter, both at FiveRoundMMA. We're still on TikTok. We're still trying to coordinate or choreograph our dance moves. So once we have that, I promise we'll be on TikTok. But you know, Albert and I have 2 left feet, so it's not very good, and we're not very good lip syncers either. So but it's coming. I promise. Well, one day.
And I mean, back in the day, I used to have a nice booty. And my booty ain't that nice. I mean, I need to keep hitting the gym, so I can't even give you guys those booty challenges.
Booty challenges.
Yeah, so
Albert's not gonna buy those TikTok leggings and walk around his house.
Yeah, so sorry, man.
So yeah, again, social media. Again, if you're on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, turn notifications. We'll greatly appreciate that. Leave a comment too. We'll get back to it when we can. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I'm sorry, my brain's all jumbled up this week for some reason. I think I'm out of it.
I just really hope in the next watch party more people join.
Yeah.
The technical issues, we will figure them out. Trust us. If the next one has some issues, we'll address it.
But let us know, though.
And let us know, and we'll make the next one bigger. We have a lot of plans with these watch parties, and it's not just for us. It's going to be for everyone that watches. Hence, watch party.
Watch party.
So,
come hang out with us.
Hopefully, people support that because we have a lot of cool ideas.
It's going to be figure opening, unboxing, maybe some giveaways, but it all depends on you guys. If you guys come and join us here, we're going to give you, because we're the type of people who like to bribe our friends to hang out with us.
Yeah,
so the more you hang out with us, the more we want to give back.
I will pay for the first round. let it be known.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for tuning in.